What is up, A team? Welcome back. Awesome here. Hope everyone's having an awesome day, or not, depending on, but hope it's awesome. And yes, we're back at today. More crypto on there. We can see right now that the crypto market has depegged just slightly ahead of the stock market there, even though it's starting to come back just a little bit. We obviously want to talk about what's going on. Why are the markets doing what they're doing? I think there's a lot of things to discuss here in regards to what's going on in the markets. And I kind of excited to sort of see what happens here. I mean, nothing shocks me anymore when it comes to what's going on with the stock market. I think a lot of it has to do with Trump, with the rhetoric, everything that's going on out there. But I think that's the goal. I think that's been Trump's goal from getting in here now. I think I finally have accepted that like Trump's goal all along was to come in and literally tank the markets just so we can actually drop our rates. I think that's really the whole plan here. I wish I would have known. I mean, you could obviously trade a little bit differently, but that's really what's going on here, on my personal opinion here. But before we jump into everything, I do want to say what's up to everyone here on the A team. Appreciate you guys all being here today. We got Billion Right in the house up here. What's up, Billion Right? We got Crypto Keeper. What's going on? We got Jeffrey Mix. What's up? Billion Right coming in hot with the $2 already. I'm back, you money-making machine. What's up, buddy? It's good to see you, man. Yeah, a lot of people are coming back. The markets are looking good. Appreciate that, the 199 super chat there. Thank you so much, dude. We got Ian in the house here. Vape Hub, what's up, man? Selmo Fud, what's up, Selmo? Good to see you, buddy. Toolbox, what's up, man? Michael B. Family Man, what's up, guys? A lot of people new old faces coming in hot here. We got Evan Rogers, Richard, Family Man. Good to see each and every one of you guys. XRP Bandit, yeah, Pipeline. Good to see everyone here. If I missed you guys, I'll catch you up here later on. We got Sir Jeremy. We got Inca. What's up, Inca? Good to see you, bud. Stop sign. Benjamin Carter. We got a lot of people in here. All right, let's jump into this, man. We got a lot of things to cover here today. One of the good things is that the markets did come back pretty hot today. You can see Bitcoin was regaining the 88,000. It's come down pretty heavy, almost 1.31% in the last hour. Let me share my screen here with you guys so that we can get on board with everything that I'm looking at here. Add that to the screen there. There you go. And you can see right here that it has come down the last hour. I mean, this thing was going on a rocket ship this morning, dude. I was like, holy crap. You know, Bitcoin was obviously rallying pretty good there. And, you know, now it's coming down a little bit. 86,000 still where it's at. Ethereum, you know, was above 1,600, now back down to 1,583. You know, XRP was up to what, 214, 216, somewhere in that ballpark. Now back down to 208. Again, the $2 marker is kind of where I'm at. And then, you know, another one of our lovely babies down here is XLM. XLM's looking pretty good, 6% up on the 7-day marker. Hedera looking good. I mean, still sitting around that 16 marker as well. This thing was shot up above 17. I thought it was going to hit 18 today, but definitely didn't do that yet. So still sitting about a 2.59% up over the last 24 hours. So that's okay. But the markets, this has been fluctuating between 900 points down to 1,000 points down. And a lot of this has to do with the rhetoric of the Trump attacks on Powell. You know, again, I don't really think that like Trump firing Powell is going to really shake the markets. I think that's just like some rhetoric that's out there. You know, maybe it will have some effect on the market, but in all reality, I think we've already seen the worst days ahead of us. I mean, we've had this crazy talk about tariffs. We've had this crazy talk about the markets. And I do think that come May, we will see a rate cut. And I think a rate cut will really, really jumpstart the market. And so that's at least what I'm hoping for. If we do not have a rate cut in May, I do think the markets will probably suffer from that. But this is all Trump's tactic to make Powell bend and actually, you know, cut rates. Because if you don't actually, you got to think, if we don't have this massive decline in the markets like this, we will not cut rates. Again, we'll continue to sell out the rates. We won't be cutting rates until about 2027. And, you know, that's really almost, what, 3 years into Trump's presidency. And Trump doesn't want that. And so Trump came in here with a plan to literally do whatever he possibly could to force the Fed's hands. And this is exactly what he's done. That's exactly why you see the markets the way they are today. The markets have continually come down. The Dow, obviously, look at this. Over the year, this is the year chart right here. Look at this, dude. We're sitting up here about 4,500. Now we shot all the way down to 37. You know, or sorry, we were up at 44,800, shot all the way down to 37,000. And even today, we're still down almost to our low of the markets here. This thing came back. We had a nice little ride back up to the 40,000 mark on the Dow. And then we come down hot again. So I think this is the whole goal, to show, to really force the hand. And that's really, I've been saying that. I think a lot of us have been saying that. So it's kind of where we're at right now. Let's see, Austin, why the pump and dump? I think just the rhetoric out there. This is the markets, man. What's up, man? He plays with the. Good morning. What's up, Adam? Yeah, San Diego. It's probably nice and hot down there, huh? Can't overreach with the DEPEGGED as a lot of markets are closed today. It's not the crazy what's going on. Yeah. Plus, you got the Pope. You got the Pope passed away. The Pope passed away. That's kind of crazy. Right after Easter, I was kind of shocked to see that. I always miss who gifted me, but want to say thank you. Oh, Nikki, yeah, someone obviously gifted you. What's up, Tim Shea? Got Tim Shea in the house here. Got the Mayor of Crypto. I checked the chart for the last 2 years, and it's the same over and over again. And the end of the month pump, and check around the second of every month. You're right, Sydney. I mean, there's definitely something that there's definitely a trend to follow. Yes, Farm Powell will shake the markets because he throws in someone as dumb as Pete Hegseth to run the Feds. I don't know who would tell you the truth, but I think the board has to vote in. I don't think he can actually appoint, right? I think they have to actually vote. So I don't know how that works. But I think that when Powell went in there the first time, I think he gets voted in by the board, right? The Federal Reserve Board. So the FOMC, all that. So I think he's voted in. I don't think it's like actually appointed. I could be wrong. I'm late to the party. What's up, Auto Pops? Good to see you, bud. What's up, Corbin? Good to see you, man. Got a lot of people showing up here. Got salute to the 18. What's up, Preacher? So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Honestly, I think it's I think it's good to sort of see the market. I'm honestly, I'm not shaken from my position. This doesn't surprise me. I think I'm like, nothing surprises me now after the whole collapse with the tariffs discussion, all that kind of stuff. Nothing's going to actually shock me. I think I'm over being shocked. I'm just, now we're just riding this out. This is an accumulation phase that we're going to continue to accumulate and rock and roll from there. That's honestly where I'm at. Like, nothing can shake me from that. But really, this is what it comes down to. It says lack of progress on trade. Investors' confidence is also hurt by a lack of progress on the global trade. Obviously, we still have the major discussions right now with China. And now China came out and said that anyone that's working with the United States, they're going to actually retaliate against in terms of trade deals. So there's definitely a trade war coming on here. But we'll continue to see this slip down further and further and further, and until there's an agreement with this. And that's really what it comes down to for me is what's the best solution. And the best solution right now is to come to some agreement with China, which it sounds like over the weekend there was maybe some headway with that, which was kind of cool to see. So that's good. But this is kind of crazy right here. This is why the markets were going up. If anyone's asking, like, why was crypto pumping? Well, the US dollar falls to a 3-year low. Anytime the dollar falls, crypto seems to actually do really well because, again, crypto is not inflationary, right? I mean, that's the whole goal behind Bitcoin. That's why Bitcoin was created, to avoid it being, deflationary or inflationary based off of where we're at. So that's the whole goal behind the dollar. When the dollar starts to fall, crypto should start to run. That's always what we wanted to see. And it's nice to actually sort of see that, hey, the US dollar continues to slide Monday, fall into its lowest level since 2022. So what happens? Crypto seems to rise. Bitcoin seems to go up. The dollar goes down. Gold's going up. Dollar's going down. It's kind of crazy how that works, but that's really what it's coming down to here. But it is weird to sort of see our dollar fall to the levels that we haven't seen since 2022. I mean, kind of scary. The dollar is not as impactful as we all thought it was at one point. So yeah, our crypto is nosediving. It's nosediving now for sure. Yeah. Are we dumping hard? Get out while you can. People, that's the fear factor in this game. Like I continually go back to this every single time we come on stream here, and I'll probably always reiterate it, is like a lot of us are up significantly. It's so hard. I get that. But even before me, right? There's people that are sitting on $1,000 Bitcoin. Like, there's no one. Some people are not going to be selling this market. Some people, like, I'm not selling my XRP in this market. I'm not selling my HBAR in this market. I'm not selling my Bitcoin. And the reasons why is because I go back and I look at stuff like this, right? This is what I look at right here. The current Bitcoin price decline is more. We're in correction territory, not in a bull market, a bear market cycle. And so you can go back over here and you can look at the realized gains versus the price versus the profit loss margins here. So you can actually sort of see here. So the white line is obviously the price. The pink line is realized gains, and then you have your profit loss margins. Well, the profit loss margins right now are not even near levels of where they are to be considered a bear market. These are bear market profit loss margins right here. We haven't even blipped where we were at in the last bull run. Look at this, dude. We're in correction territory, which is where we're at here, where we're at here, and where we're at here. We haven't even gone down to the levels of correction territory from back in 2016 and 17 and 2020. This is where we're at right now. So for anyone that's like, saying, hell, we're going to go to these levels before, we are literally in correction territory right now. Like, this is not like a bear market cycle. So, I'd rather read off I'd rather look at the data in front of me here than try to be like, oh my God, I'm going to be fearful of all these tabloids that are out here saying that the market's tanking. Like, this is all just a fear tactic to make you exit your positions. Again, 88% of the stock market, 88% of the crypto market is owned by the elites, owned by the people who are rich. And they're going to continue to shake you out off of tabloids like this. You're going to read stuff like this and go, you know what? I'm selling. I'm afraid that we're going to go down further. And then when the time comes, you're going to go, shit, I shouldn't have sold. Because again, look at the data. Look what everyone else is looking at here, so that you can, make a good judgment here. But this is literally where we're at right now. So anyone freaking out, just realize that this is correction territory. There's nothing here saying that we're in anywhere near a bear territory. Nothing's actually gotten to those levels yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'd rather read that than anything else. But, again, I will say that the tariff discussion is being had, and this is obviously probably the biggest thing right now, is he's calling on the Fed chair, obviously Powell, to lower the rates, and that he will fire him, right? This whole Trump versus Powell push for lower rates thing has gotten a little crazy, I will admit. Will Trump actually, push to get him out of there? Probably will. Can he actually fire him? I still don't know if that's actually doable. If he can actually just go in there and fire him, but I do think that he has enough influence to do so. Does HBAR hit the $1 of the cycle? I'm hoping it does for sure. My girlfriend's employer is already in talks with other countries. They'll do business. I hope China gets weaker. Yeah, some people are like that cookie cutter. I hope China gets weaker too. I don't think China should own us like they do. You know what I mean? I think that we should be able to depeg ourselves from China. I do. I don't think that one of our enemies, right? You could sit there and say that China is probably not the closest friend or ally, but they hold a majority of what we got going on here. So I think in some degree, you got to start working towards, separating yourself from China. Is it to the levels of where Trump's going? I don't know. Some people think it's too far. Anyone interested in a side hustle? That's funny. Let's see here. What's up, Tony Punch? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, thanks so much for commenting on my daughter's soccer thing. It was pretty cool of you. Appreciate that, man. We just need some sort of idea of an agreement between Trump and Xi. Yeah, I'm with you. I think there needs to be an agreement too. I would agree, Adam. I mean, if we come to an agreement, the market's going to do well. And that's the thing, is I want the whole global markets to do well. Like, I think it's great if China does well. We know that China's in a kind of in a recession themselves. We know that the yuan over there is not as strong as the dollar. We know all that kind of stuff. But like, it would be nice from a global standpoint if we all just work together, so we could all prosper together on a global scale, and then everyone's happy, versus trying to do tick for tack kind of stuff. Like, that's kind of what I'm hoping for, but maybe I'm hoping too much. A big FU candle incoming for Bitcoin. It kind of feels that way, right? Let's take a look at Bitcoin. You can see right here over the last hour. I mean, this is the day chart right now. So one thing I told you guys to watch out for this weekend was our the death cross right here, right? We just talked about the death cross. And really what that was is if we have the 50 that crosses over the 200, right? So we're really close. The 200 is sitting around, the 200 EMA is sitting around the 85,026, and the 50 is sitting around the 85,374. So, I mean, we're really close to that happening. Well, anytime we seem to get close, I mean, this is where I think we're in correction territory, we're not in bear territory, is that anytime we actually get close to where the 50 gets close to the 200, we have a nice little bounce back, and we actually go into a more of a bullish trajectory. And so I showed this last stream, and I'll show it again. You can see right down here, last time we actually got this close to it, which was literally off by, we could probably even do the math right now. You can see right here, last time that we got down to 59,561 for the 50, and there was 59,293. So off by like $200, it got within range before we actually took off. So you can see that last time we got that close, we had a massive rally, okay? So right now, the averages have pushed together again, and we're looking for this massive rally here, especially if you go back and you look at this chart right here, knowing that we're in correction territory. We're not in bear territory. We're in correction territory. You should be more, you should have, I guess, a better understanding that the markets are probably going to go back upward in terms of Bitcoin than downward. At least that's how I feel personally. And especially if Jerome Powell cuts rates in May, these markets are going to freaking blow up, dude. I'm telling you that right now, dude. The markets are going to go crazy if we cut rates. I know people don't want to believe that. I know people want to continue to be bearish, but the markets will actually blow up, because the whole goal about rate cuts is to actually add more money into the markets. What does a rate cut do? It allows people to actually go refinance their houses. What does it do? It allows people to actually can't enter into a home, be able to maybe afford a home. What does it do? It allows people that maybe can't purchase a new vehicle, go out there and actually maybe now purchase a new vehicle, or at least a new vehicle at a better rate. There's so many better things out there when these rate cuts actually hit. So think about it from that scale. And it might not be you. You might not be like, well, I'm not going to go buy a new car. I'm not going to go buy a new house. But there's a lot of other people out there that, want to be able to jump into a new home or jump into a new car and, buy these new things. People can lower their credit card rates. There's so many things that factor into these interest rates that I think are why we need to get them down. I'm in agreement with Trump on this. Like I've been wanting this slow landing stuff. Like I'm so over the slow landing. Like, dude, let's cut the rates. Let's get the economy booming. Let's actually get people out there to buy things that they, we want them to buy and continue rocking and rolling. That's kind of where I'm at. Sometimes I worry that manipulators have so much money that they will never need to see higher prices. Maybe, but they're greedy, dude. These people that have a lot of money and they're manipulators, they're greedy, bro. They're gamblers. Majority of these people will gamble. It's every man for himself. It kind of feels that way. What's up, Seiko? We got Seiko. We got Cool Cat. What's up, guys? We got Regina. What's up, Regina? Awesome. Where do you think XRP will go this time? I continue to say that we're going to get into the 350 to the 450 range. I think we're going to continue to push up there. We'll probably see more. One great thing I got to see right here. One great thing is this right here. Several major banks like Deschutes Bank and Standard Chartered, along with crypto firms such as Coinbase, Circle, BitGo, and Paxos, are considering expanding their operation in the cryptocurrency sector in the U.S. I mean, anytime you start to see that banks and or major institutions are starting to work with crypto, I think that's actually a huge thing for XRP. It's a huge thing for HBAR. It's a huge thing for any company or cryptocurrency project out there, blockchain, whatever you might say, that it can be involved in something like this, especially being a blockchain for running your ledger, a bank ledger within a ledger. I mean, that's kind of where this thing is going. I think this is going to be big for just crypto and for something like an XRP. These are what we want to see. Hey, Austin, there has been some buzz on some type of pure wallet. Can you tell us more about that? The pure wallet. Heck yeah, dude, it's coming out, man. Get ready for the pure wallet, dude. It's awesome. 18 bind and store on cold storage. Yeah, cold storage is the way to go. I personally think that. I know last stream people got mad at me for calling out, I don't even know who it was, some Australian firm for, I wasn't dogging them. I'm just saying I just wouldn't trust them. I would keep my stuff in a cold storage. Yeah, gold Cold Cat is kicking butt, dude. Gold is killing it right now, dude. Living the life, mining. Oh, wow. Left U.S. with my BTC after college. Damn, bro. You think we're going to see a pump up to July 14th? I think that we're going to see, I've already said Q3 going into Q4, like Q3, Q4, we're probably going to, I hope to see a nice little rally, dude. And plus, the bottom of the market will definitely be in way before we start to rally, right? I mean, that's just kind of where it is. A lot of people miss the bottom. Is the bottom right now? Maybe. I mean, May is not that far away, dude. The FOMC meeting is not that far away. What is it, the 18th of May? Let's see the Fed calendar. Let's open up the Fed calendar here. I don't care about the FOMC. I want to see their meeting. I think it's the 18th of May, right? 6. Oh shit, dude. It's literally like less than that. Sorry, it was the 18th. It's the 18th of June. That's when the FOMC meeting actually happens. But there's going to be another FOMC meeting on the 6th and 7th, and then the 17th to 18th is the projections, or where they meet with a summary of economic projections. So May 6th and 7th, dude. That's literally only 2 weeks away. 2 weeks away, and if rate cuts come in, guys, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I told you so, but I mean, like, the market should do well if a rate cut comes in. And I think that's really what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to really hurt the markets so that it forces the Fed's hand. I think a lot of us realize that now. There's nothing hidden about this. It's all out there for us to see and understand now. Don't sell, you won't lose your money. Yeah, 100%. If you don't sell, you don't lose. When in May, let's see what that say. Hats off to the bulls. Yeah, rich people don't need rates to go down to buy homes. Middle class people. But there's a reverse to that too, right? So, and here's my argument as to why the rich people want this to happen, is because when that actually happens, it increases their investments. So that's the only thing I can, really when it comes down to. And plus, a lot of them are real estate people, right? So there's a lot of realtors out there, a lot of people, a lot of land developers. I mean, Trump's a land developer, his whole family, right? And a lot of people who make a ton of money are people who own a bunch of land, own a bunch of buildings and all that kind of stuff. And they want people to lease their, be able to lease or be able to purchase, whatever it might be. So, it's tough to say, man. Low rates raises inflation. Yeah, but the thing is that if you're it might lowering rates could raise inflation, but if you have inflation under control and it's already coming, again, we're already sort of stagnant as it is, right? You don't want there to be stagflation. So what do? You have to kind of create a balance between where you cut rates, but if you're cutting energy costs, you're cutting other things that can actually bring, if you're tariffing people and it's actually working out, which Trump's saying right here. I think it's where did he say it? Right here. President Trump says tariffs are going well and everybody wants to negotiate. So if that's actually true, and again, there's no way to validate this. I don't know how you go and validate if the tariffs are actually working. I have no idea. It's basically Trump saying that, and you either take his word for it or not. When you see H bar, I'm thinking like Q3, Q4. I'm thinking like Q4, bro. I'm real. That's what I'm pushing for, dude. That's what I'm pushing for, dude. Let's see how long until regulation. I think they're slowly working with it right now. I want to try cold storage, put all my mining gains there. Yeah, you should, Peter. You should have it go straight to your ledger, honestly. I heard that there was going to be a Coinbase XRP derivatives. I heard that was coming here shortly, wasn't it? Dude, tell you the truth, I haven't looked. Let's see. I think it was coming this month. Maybe I heard that. Let's go look. I haven't actually pulled up my derivatives on that. Let's actually take a look. I don't know exactly when Coinbase XRP derivatives were coming. Someone said it earlier. I think it's going to be April 21st, dude. That's today, right? So yeah, Coinbase derivatives launching XRP futures contracts on April 21st. So that's today, bro. Yeah. So I was just gonna look. It's on there right now, dude. Yeah. Shit. You can actually go put some shorts and longs on there right now, dude. Good deal, dude. Kudos to that. That's badass. Yeah, get on those derivatives right there, dude. Yeah, that's what it says. Today's the day, I guess. That's badass. Yep, not a single deal that may. Let's go first. It was first quarter when it was going to pump, second quarter, and now you're saying end of third quarter. No, I've said that. I've been saying Q3, Q4 for a while, dude. If you go back and watch my videos, Jay Moore, I've been saying. I think a lot of people here on the A team could attest that. I've been saying Q3, Q4. I've been saying that Q3 is kind of where we can start to rally, and then Q4 is kind of where it ends, and that's probably what's going to happen, dude. I mean, we're probably going to go into end of Q3. We're going to see this. We're going to hopefully see a peak, and then Q4 going into right there in Q4, and then probably towards the end of Q4, you'll probably see a little bit of a sell-off for sure. So I've always said probably towards the end of right around August, September, right? I think I've said August, September for a really long time, and I hope that stands true. I really do. Dangerous Dave, what's up, buddy? Oh, tariffs are going well. Yeah. Also, I understand the need for cuts, but from Powell's perspective, the tariff directly caused more inflation. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to sort of see how that works out. I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting to sort of see what happens, right? The markets can, like I said, if there's a rate cut coming in, the markets are going to go off. I mean, and like I said, rate cuts come in, tax package happens in summertime. If we actually get a tax package passed through Congress and the Senate or in the House, and it's signed off by Trump by this summertime, by towards the end of summertime, dude, if we get a tax cut coming towards the end of the year, it's going to be crazy, dude. I've already said it. I stand by it. Most TA guys still believe in those charts. So much more going on behind the scenes while people are missing the launch of projects and buying the new stuff. Yeah, actually, there's a lot of things out there. You know what I mean? I try to really avoid all the launching of new projects. Like I said, a lot of them don't make it. 99.9% of all projects do not make it. It's a tough market to be in to actually make it. There'll be pumps and you can make money off it for sure. But there's a lot where I just try to stick to the assets of what I've owned for over the years. And that's kind of where I'm at. So, yeah. Summertime things will heat up. Definitely. I agree, Tommy. Santa Corky, thanks so much for becoming a member of the A team. You're officially now a member of the A team. Thank you so much for joining. I think you are actually, officially a new member, man. Appreciate that a ton. Santa, yeah, thanks for becoming a member, dude. Zeus. 2021 will be the year prices skyrocket. Yeah, I definitely hope not. If crypto goes to 2025 without a true space-wide bull run, it's going to set the space back a decade. You think so, IMJS? Back a decade? Man, I think I've seen you before on a job site in Seattle years ago. You very well could have, dude. Yeah, I've been on a lot of job sites in Seattle. That's for sure, dude. You might have seen me, man. Tax breaks and rate cuts equal takeoff. Oh, for sure. 100%, dude. 100%. What's up, Tracy? So the Fed's meeting coming here. I mean, we're only a couple weeks away. I mean, literally, let's see. We have 1, 2. Yeah, dude. two days is like, you know, 2 weeks is not that far away. So, you know, we're gonna see how this plays out. But I just like going back to this chart right here. This is kind of where I hedge my stuff off of here. And then you can see this is another good example right here. It says BTC versus the NASDAQ. So obviously the NASDAQ has continued to have this upward trend, and then we've hit this line, and then next thing you know, we're consolidating, and hopefully we have another upward trajectory. So this is kind of where I think a lot of us are at. So what do you think of CTF? I don't know if that put my 401k into Farcoin. All right, bro. Hey y'all, that XRP been teasing last night. I know, dude. K Bowers, it was looking good this morning too. Regina, thanks so much for gifting 5 new memberships to the A team. And for Regina gifted you a membership, please say thank you. And those 5 new members, welcome to the A team. That is awesome. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. And again, those 5 new members, if you want to join the Discord, feel free to join. So your NFTs would mint out in about 24 hours. That decent money for you, and you could create products that will create a nonprofit to hide some money. Yeah, there's a lot of content creators out there that have launched projects. You know, some still out there doing pretty well with it. The content creators have launched NFTs and still, you know, are doing okay. Yeah, there's so many opportunities out there with crypto and being able to launch these kind of things, you know, if you wanted to. I you know, again, I don't have the desire right now to do something like that, but looks like you have. I'm still sitting at a job site while you're sitting in an office chair. Why didn't you tell me about investing back then? I probably was investing for sure. I know I was investing back then. I didn't talk about it. Hey, Austin, just got through setting up my Ledger Nano. Thanks for referring me to that trade. Oh, dude, Tristan, that's awesome, man. Tristan, that's awesome. Yeah, good luck with it. You might struggle a little. There's a video out there for your H-bar Hedera. If you wanted to jump into the H-bar side, there's a video out there on how to do it. It could be a little time consuming, but once you figure it out, it's pretty easy. I'm digging NFTs on Sui right now. Nice, dude. Yeah, Sui's been doing really well. Sui's the up and coming project. I've already said this. Sui's actually was at a level where accumulation on it is probably not a bad idea. Down here at $1.80, this thing tapped down, almost hit me right where I purchased, and now it's, you know, still down there, sitting around $2.17. This thing went all the way up to $5. So, I mean, you can still go up 100% on this thing if it goes back to its all-time high, which I feel it can, because I think this is the up and coming blockchain that a lot of people are going to run over to. So, Moto, thanks for being a member for 4 months. Thank you so much. Amazon said partnership with Ripple, XRP, Future. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of partnerships coming up here as crypto gets more and more integrated throughout the next couple of years. Dude, we're going to see so many more integrations with large companies for sure. XRP is definitely one to hold. I got the Ledger too, Crypto Dad, and you convinced me. Nice, Peter. You into mining stocks at all? I'm like, you're talking like Riot and Mara. Hell yeah, dude. Like, I'm definitely, those are awesome. I saw you dressed as Santa Claus at the mall. I'm buying as much as I can. Oh, you have a Tandem too? H-bar on Tandem. Yeah, I heard that that the Tandem. I need to get it. I'm gonna get a Tandem. I think I'll probably buy one this week. I'm thinking about selling my XRP for you're really gonna buy it for Mantra? Really? OM? Dude, if you guys don't know, obviously OM's like the third largest rug pull in the history of crypto. This thing has came back, and this thing has actually bounced back from its low, right? From where it hit bottom here. Had this, or let's go over here to the month. This thing came off. Look at that, dude. Look at that clip. This is almost like Terra Luna 2.0. This thing came off, hit a dead cat bounce down here at 50 cents. Then now it's back up to, and then went all the way back up to $1, and now sitting about 54. So, you know, I probably wouldn't touch this at all. This is probably one of the biggest collapses in crypto. Some people are thinking that it's going to bounce back, but I wouldn't go anywhere near it, dude. Also, another YouTuber crypto guy was mentioned. He puts in his profits into whatever life insurance policy that some people use as investments. How do you do that without exchanging cash? You're going to have to exchange cash, dude, unless they have unless they're using some place that accepts crypto. But I mean, it's still gonna be a profit. You know, you're still going to have to cash out at some point. Tandem's been great for you. Tandem's been good for you. Yeah, her Tandem's pretty legit. So, you know, we can see right here, XRP is actually not doing too bad. I mean, we're still trading sideways here, still trading in our zones. This is we're going on basically almost 2 weeks of trading in the same zone. So not too bad. Isn't there supposed to be 3 more ETFs going live? I heard something like that. ETF, and plus when ETFs hit too, we stopped talking about ETFs. Imagine when the ETFs do hit. I'd never heard of OM until it was already rugged peeps. Yeah, dude, it was a top 20 crypto at one point, Adam. It was insane, dude. It was over a $6 billion market cap at one point. I think it was like 6 billion. Let's see, market cap. Yeah, I think this thing, it's over a $6.86 billion market cap. This thing tapped out at 8 billion here, right here at the beginning of the year. $8 billion market cap. This thing was like almost a top 15 cryptocurrency. I think at one point it might have been. It was pushing the H bar, and then this thing just literally rugged everyone, dude. Insane. Went from an 8 billion. This is I'm gonna be honest with you. You know what this reminded me of? This reminded me of Saitama. Saitama was an $8 billion project that literally rug pulled everyone down to nothing. And eventually it became nothing. This is what the chart reminds me of, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. It went from 8 billion down to nothing. The CEO said it wasn't a rug pull. Trust me, bro. Yeah, that's when you first know it's a rug pull. Selmo Fudd, member for 8 months. I know you remember. You've been a member for a lot longer than that. But yeah, appreciate you, bro. As always holding it down for me as one of my favorite mods. So thank you so much. Damn, yeah, I missed that. Yeah, it's a wild. That's a wild ride. Oh, they labeled XRP as a security. Whatever. Saitama One Punch Man, my hero. I thought we couldn't speak about Saitama. Well, Saitama was no longer, right? All the developers got arrested, or at least on some scale of fraud. So I think we could talk about it. But yeah, I mean that was probably easily one of the biggest dupes in crypto history for sure. I mean, when you have the SEC and the feds coming after you and arresting every single one of the developers, then yeah, you must have done something wrong. Worst rug pull I've ever seen. Evergrow, Coin, and Saitama. Yeah, I don't really know the Evergrow one, but Saitama for sure. Easily. Pope probably rise in 3 days after. Had a whale that left. Dude, there's no way that's a one. That's the developer that left. When Chuck Norris sends a cross-border payment, he doesn't use Swift, or he roundhouse kicks the funds through XRP Ledger. What's up, Oscar? Good to see you, buddy. Hope all is well, my friend. Woo made it. How about the XRP, man? Yeah, XRP's, I mean, like I said, XRP is still one of the most bullish charts in crypto, if not the bullish chart, because of just how it's easily read and it just stays steady. So, and then we're just waiting for the next rally with it, really. Let's see. Yeah, Descent Wallet's pretty good. But yeah, the bank's coming in here. This is what I thought was funny, dude. This came out yesterday, dude. I liked how the Bybit CEO came out and posted an update on the hacked funds. so of the 1.4 billion in stolen crypto, 68.57 remain traceable. 27.59 has gone dark. The thing is that if they actually move this through Pure Wallet, none of it would be traceable. So none of it would be traceable. That 68.57 wouldn't be traceable. Most untraceable funds flowed into mixers, which would obviously, and then through a bridge to P2P or OTC platforms. So if they would have used the Pure Wallet, they wouldn't have been able to trace the funds. Right here, 1.21 billion moved from Ethereum to BTC. The one thing is that a lot of the mixers are only Ethereum based. They're actually not BTC or any other based crypto. So you got to send them through a mixer. And the one thing about Pure Wallet is that you could actually have done it through with Bitcoin. So yeah, not saying that I using Pure Wallet for nefarious stuff, but I'm just saying like the technology's out there, and once people realize what Pure Wallet does from a decentralized standpoint of keeping things untracked and untraceable is next level, dude. Don't you know? Seiko Pelosi got on track and never looked back. I don't even. What is Pelosi even doing? Crush the like for Austin. Oh, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much, dude. Who even held Never heard many bankrupt stories. Yeah, I didn't touch it, dude. Day of Moon Day. 589 incoming. All right. We got Kevin in the house here. What's up, Kev? Austin, you think XRP revisits the 172 levels before rally? Yeah, it's so tough to say. It very well could. I mean, you could put a buy order in for 171, 175 if you think it, and if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's a fair play. I'm rooting against that. I'm gonna be more bullish on it than I'm bearish. I'll be more long than short. Whatever, Seiko. Is it true Japan is now using XRP as a form of payment? I can't validate that. I can't 100% validate that. Yeah, I can't. People say that, but I don't know. That's crazy. They're putting bounties out there. Bounties. What do you think XRP will end at the end of this year? I'm still pushing. I'm still hoping that $7 range, Jeremy. I'm still hoping that XRP hits $7. 701, dude. It's always better to be long than short. Okay. Pelosi's still alive. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Mm. I guess so. Yeah. I guess she is. So yeah, things are looking good. The other day you said that your crypto off exchange, but you're still good with ETFs on Schwab. Well, the thing is, Tall Paul, is that the thing is that the exchanges there's a the reason why you have a custodian, right? So when it comes to ETFs, there's a custodian for the Bitcoin. So Schwab doesn't actually hold your Bitcoin. There's a custodian, which would be Coinbase. Coinbase is the custodian for Schwab, right? And so the good thing is that you can't intermingle that. So the SEC has made that a requirement. So Coinbase is the custodian for Schwab. Where with us, if you have your money on Coinbase, they are not only the custodian, but they're also the holder of it. It's a conflict of interest, is what it is. So no different than Schwab, how they are. When you go through and you trade on the Nasdaq, they're a custodian between the stock exchange and you. So that's where one person's holding the money, one person's holding the stock. So when it comes to Coinbase is holding the crypto, Schwab's holding the stock, or vice versa, right? So having that intermediary or person in between there is the right thing to do. And so that's how I'm okay with it. Yeah, because that's the way it should have been in the beginning. That will keep actual exchanges from being able to not only hold the stock and hold the money. They're either holding the stock or holding the money, one or the other, right? So someone's holding Bitcoin, someone's holding the money. Where before, if you have your money on Coinbase, you're holding your money and your stock, or your Bitcoin and your money. So that's where you got to be really cautious. I knew the father of the guy who helped Pelosi. No way, dude. You can't send BTC between two miners and watch it. I don't think you can do that, can you? I try to, Santa Corky. I try to keep up with the comments. Sometimes they get a little out of control. Coinbase or Gemini? Coinbase for sure. Is Charles Schwab and Carl Schwab the same person? I don't know. I did see that one Schwab guy. He resigned today, so thought that was actually pretty funny. The chart looks horrible. What chart looks horrible? The Bitcoin or this chart? This chart looks great. This chart's looking great. I love XRP's chart, dude. This chart's actually like one of the better looking charts out there. I was gonna get a tangent off Amazon. Yeah, you should definitely go to the official site. Robinhood acquires Bitstamp. I have to look into that. I haven't. That's the first I heard of that. I know a lot of people. You know a lot of people. Aren't you from Canada, bro? Man who plays the Are you? Don't you live in Canada? I used to work for. Oh, really? You used to work for them? Damn. Robinhood or Coinbase? Coinbase for sure. Traditional markets tanking, but BTC going up. Yeah, it's kind of like this DEPEGGED. XP actually did partner with Amazon. Huh. Yeah, let's go back and look. The markets have continued. Yeah, it's back at the 87. So yeah, Bitcoin's bouncing back around. It's bouncing. Let's see where the Nasdaq ends. We're still 1,000 points down. Yeah, it's starting to decline a lot. Nasdaq at 560. That's not too bad. Huh. FTC sues Uber. Interesting. The magic number to retire right now is 1.26 million. Damn, dude. That's the magic number. That's crazy. How many people have 1.26 million in their funds? Not that many people. I guarantee you that. So basically, they're saying not too many people are going to be able to retire. Overall, Americans expect they will need about 1.26 million to retire comfortably, according to recent studies by Northwest. It says, by some measures, workers overall are doing well, but the 2025 stock market has not spared many savers. Oh my God, dude. They're using the 2025. For 2025, the magic number for retire comfortably is down on an average of 1.26 million, a 200,000 drop from the 1.46 million reported last year. So so it was more expensive to retire last year than it was this year. So basically, inflation's gone under control. If that's the case, then that means that inflation has come down. Because if it was 1.46 million last year and it's 1.26 million this year, that means that we have inflation that's under control. Because that 200,000 is really to accommodate the cost of living. Traditional markets tanking, but BTC going up. I think so, bro. Fidelity eventually will. Yeah, Fidelity's legit. China threats on partnering with US has gone. Oh, yeah. People always call for DPEG when BTC and stocks. Then a week later, there'll be a 20% dip. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with this. I mean, this is why is the dollar's down. Anytime the dollar takes a crap, Bitcoin seems to do well. We know that. I mean, we've seen that as a history. That's the reason why Bitcoin was created. So I think when the dollar starts to fall, we'll start to see Bitcoin come up a little bit. And really, I mean, Bitcoin has actually done pretty well since over the last month. We've seen that the dollar's come down. Bitcoin's held strong through it. I mean, really has. But being at the levels that we haven't seen before, which is right around over here in February 2022, is pretty wild. Lost 1.2 million divorce, ended up living homeless for 6 months. Dude, that's crazy, Pixel. Saving retirement wiped out. Yeah, it's kind of sucks. How much volume will ETFs drive into the ETF? A lot. I feel a lot. Government bell. I feel a lot. ACH looking good, looking strong. Yeah, a lot of cryptos out there looking strong. But all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off a little early here. I'm gonna get my walk in for the day. I'm gonna go kick it, put out some things today, hang out. I appreciate you guys being here talking about this. I think the markets we're gonna continue to watch. Like I said, one thing I'm watching is this right here. I haven't bought, sold anything. Really, I'm just sitting here watching. I'm waiting for these numbers right here. This is a real big tall tale right here. So we'll continue to revisit this. So I'll continue to watch the 50 and the 200 on the Bitcoin side on the daily. And that's really going to be my marker, dude. I wonder if they stop making pennies, if the penny value will go up. It probably will. I mean, that's like, yeah, I think it probably will. Money lost to stock will end up in crypto. I think so too. You'll see the crypto market catch up with traditional markets. I agree. Leg day, bro. All right, getting shorter and shorter. Well, I'm not going to drag it on. So, we'll talk about what we need to talk about. It was awesome. I think the markets are looking pretty damn good. I'm happy with where we're at. I know some people don't like to hear that. Some people are very bearish. I'm very bullish. So with all that, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Do realize that we will be coming down the RSI right here. If you guys haven't seen, the RSI does show that we're up here. We are in over purchase territory. So this could come down slightly before we take the next leg up. So with all that, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And with all that said, we're out. Peace out, everyone.